We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
It's about crime, corruption, confidence, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lupkin, and here's the news you need to know. Philadelphia police responded to popular retailers like the Apple Store, Lululemon, and Foot Locker after they were being ravaged by swarms of looters taking over the city of brotherly love Tuesday evening. Around 8 o'clock Tuesday night, police responded to reports of large crowds of juveniles looting stores in the Center City business corridor of the 9th District. In a proactive measure, officers from the 9th District stopped a group of males dressed in black attire and wearing masks at the intersections of 17th and Chestnut Streets, a police spokesperson said in a statement. As of midnight on Wednesday, police confirmed between 15 and 20 people were arrested during the looting and at least 2 firearms were recovered, but an estimated 80 looters remained on the loose. Over a dozen Senate Democrats have called for their colleague, Senator Bob Menendez, to resign after a bombshell indictment was unsealed in federal court last Friday. Senator Cory Booker issued a statement on Tuesday calling for Menendez, also from New Jersey, to step down in the wake of the federal corruption charges related to overseas dealings with the government of Egypt. Stepping down is not an admission of guilt, but an acknowledgement that holding public office often demands tremendous sacrifices at great personal cost, Booker's statement said. Senator Menendez has made these sacrifices in the past to serve, and in this case, he must do so again. I believe stepping down is best for those Senator Menendez has spent his life serving. Target said Tuesday that it will close 9 stores in major cities across the country, citing violence, theft, and organized retail crime. The company will close 1 store in New York City's Harlem neighborhood, 2 locations in Seattle, 3 stores in the San Francisco-Oakland area, and 3 more in Portland, Oregon. The discounter said it will shutter the stores for good on October 21st. We cannot continue operating these stores because theft and organized retail crime are threatening the safety of our team and guests and contributing to unsustainable business performance, Target said in a news release. We know that our stores serve an important role in their communities, but we can only be successful if the working and shopping environment is safe for all. Target, which has nearly 2,000 stores in the U.S., has been outspoken about organized retail crime at its stores. It has said theft has driven higher levels of shrink, an industry term used to describe losses from goods that were damaged, misplaced, or stolen. More than 200 businesses went on strike in Oakland, California, in protest of rampant violent crime they say is driving customers from their establishments. If not, there will be more businesses that will close, so we may sacrifice maybe one day. People may close the entire day or maybe 2 hours, but that is a time when we have to say enough is enough. Carl Chan, president of the Oakland Chinatown Chamber of Commerce, who helped organize the strike, told Fox 2 KTVU. The strike involves some businesses closing for the entire day and others who cannot afford to do so, instead shutting their doors between 10 a.m. and noon. Chan himself survived a violent attack last year, and the now convicted assailant reportedly went on to brutally assault an 88-year-old Asian woman in nearby San Francisco just months later. Business owners told KTVU that they are suffering from repeated break-ins and robberies, and their patrons and employees alike are fearing for their safety. Hunter Biden received wires that originated in Beijing for more than $250,000 from Chinese business partners during the summer of 2019. Wires that listed the Delaware home of Joe Biden as the beneficiary address for the funds, Fox News Digital has learned from a congressional committee. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer has been investigating the Biden family business dealings and President Biden's alleged involvement in those ventures. As part of the investigation, Comer subpoenaed financial records related to a specific bank account and received records of 2 wires originating from Beijing and linked to BHR Partners. BHR Partners is a joint venture between Hunter Biden's Rosemont, Seneca, and Chinese investment firm Bohai Capital. BHR Partners is a Beijing-backed private equity firm controlled by Bank of China Limited. Hunter Biden reportedly sat on the board of directors of BHR Partners. A New York judge on Tuesday ruled that former President Donald Trump, his 2 adult sons, and 2 other Trump Organization executives fraudulently inflated the value of Trump properties to get better loan and insurance terms. Judge Arthur Engoron said Trump and the other defendants showed a propensity to engage in persistent fraud. Engoron canceled the company's New York business certificates, stripping Trump's control of key properties. The decision marked a victory for New York Attorney General Letitia James, who says Trump overvalued properties by $2.2 billion and seeks $250 million in penalties in a trial that could start next week. Trump called Engoron deranged. His lawyer signaled a likely appeal. The Speaker of Canada's House of Commons, Anthony Rota, said Tuesday he would step down after facing widespread criticism for praising a former Nazi soldier during a visit by Ukrainian President Zelensky. Rota recognized the ex-soldier, 98-year-old Yaroslav Hunka, after Zelensky addressed Canadian lawmakers. That public recognition has caused pain to individuals and communities, including the Jewish community in Canada and around the world, said Rota, a member of the ruling Liberal Party. I accept full responsibility for my actions. A deputy speaker will take charge. Russia said the incident showed its war in Ukraine was justified. The Federal Trade Commission in 17 states filed a landmark antitrust lawsuit against Amazon on Tuesday. The 172-page complaint accuses Amazon of wielding monopoly power and using it to favor its own services and squeeze third-party sellers who use its marketplace. The suit says the e-commerce giant's practices result in artificially higher prices because merchants have been blocked from selling goods for less elsewhere. A single company, Amazon, has seized control over much of the online retail economy, said the lawsuit, filed in a Washington federal court. It exploits its monopolies in ways that enrich Amazon but harm its customers. David Zapolsky, Amazon's general counsel, said the FTC is wrong on the facts and the law. Consumer confidence fell again in September as Americans expressed greater concern that the economy could be headed for a recession. The Conference Board's Consumer Confidence Index dropped to 103 this month, lower than the 105.5 analysts expected, and the second straight decline following a 2.5-year high of 114 in July. Confidence remains well below a post-pandemic peak of 128.9 in June 2021 as consumers continue to grapple with high inflation, rising interest rates, and recession fears. The Expectations Index, indicating consumers' short-term optimism for the economy, also fell for a second straight month in September, dropping to 73.7 from 83.3 in August. Historically, when the index drops below 80, it signals a recession within the next 12 months. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of The Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com/podcasts, the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.